Hey everyone, it's Ariel. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be sharing 5 things you might be doing to your hair that are causing damage, and maybe you are aware that these are causing damage, but maybe you have no idea. So either way, I'm just going to share 5 of the ways that you might be causing damage to your hair. So let's just get into the video. So the first one, which is so important, I can never stress it enough, using heat protectant, or I guess not using heat protectant. If you don't use heat protectant and you use heat on your hair regularly, you are most likely causing damage to your hair. Heat protectant is something you should always be using before you apply any sort of heat on your hair, before you use any hot tools. You just put a little bit of that in before you start, and then it prevents any damage. It prevents your hair from drying out after you put the heat on it. It's just so important. So please make sure you're using heat protectant. I've shared my favorite heat protectant on here before, but I'll share another clip of it here. My favorite is the Aveda Damage Remedy Daily Hair Repair. It's a leave-in treatment / heat protectant. You just put a little bit of that in your hair before you apply the heat, and it'll protect your hair from any damage that you're about to put onto it. So definitely make sure you are using heat protectant, please. The second way you might be damaging your hair is by shampooing too harshly. So if you put the shampoo into your hair and then you start rubbing super harshly, you're causing all kinds of mats and tangles to form in your hair, and that in turn can cause damage. So when you're shampooing your hair, just try to be as gentle as you can. I always try to go in circular motions, so you're not really like causing any serious tangles. You're just kind of gently massaging it in. Nothing crazy, but you do obviously want to make sure your hair's clean. So if you need to, you can do 2 shampoos or even 3 if you need to, but just try not to scrub too harshly because your hair is most prone to damage when it's wet. So you want to make sure you're being careful when you're shampooing and just overall being gentle with your hair when it's wet. If you want to detangle your hair when it's wet, try and make sure there's some conditioner or some kind of product in there that can add a bit of slip to it so that you're not just snagging on wet hair. But yeah, try not to be too rough with your wet hair. Number 3 is using the heat too hot on your hot tools. So when you go to use any type of hot tool or any type of heat on your hair, you want to make sure you're not turning it all the way up. You definitely don't need to do that. You can start somewhere around 325, 350, somewhere around that range, and you can go up from there. But make sure you're not cranking that heat up. You definitely don't need to turn it all the way up to get your hair straight or curly or whatever style you're doing. Even a blow dryer, make sure you're using it just on warm or even on cool if you can get away with it. But yeah, try not to turn up the heat too high. And on the topic of high temperatures, another way you might be damaging your hair is by using the water too hot. So when you're shampooing your hair, when you're washing your hair, try to use like a lukewarm temperature or even warm, but not like scorching hot. I know how nice it is to have a nice hot shower, but when it comes to washing your hair, turn the heat down a little bit. When you're turning the heat up all the way and you're using super hot steaming water on your hair, you're putting your hair at risk to be burned, and it's just a lot better for your hair if you use it at a little bit of a lower temperature. So try, yeah, lukewarm or kind of warm, but not hot. And the 5th way you might be damaging your hair is by overprocessing. So I am very guilty of this, I'll be honest. Overprocessing is basically like lightening too much, just coloring too much in general, relaxers, anything that uses a chemical on your hair and is chemically processing your hair. It's gonna cause damage. So if you can, try to keep the chemical treatments to once a year or a couple times a year, and make sure that you're treating your hair really well in between those treatments to avoid the amount of damage that you're causing. And that's pretty much it, guys. Those are my 5 ways that you might be damaging your hair. There are obviously a lot more ways you can cause damage to your hair. These are just 5 of the ones I thought of. But hopefully you like these tips. Hopefully you find them helpful. Let me know if there's any of these that you're doing at home and if you're gonna stop now. And if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. Down here or down here. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.